gas prices, gas prices. Man, let me tell you. I remember the days when it was below $3 a gallon. Now you can't find anything. And yeah, daily reminder, Biden is to blame for that. Just just so you're aware, he is to blame for that. And how do gas prices affect working class people? How do they affect working families? Well, they affect them and they affect you by price gouging. Price gouging affects everyone. So let me dive into the details about the gas tax and about the current state of America today. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Global Report with Zach the Celtics guy. I know it's been a little bit since I've made one of these videos, but then again, it's been a minute because I've been busy. Basically, I only had time last week to make those streams. Lucky I was even able to do that. But so why don't we talk a little bit about that a little bit? Let's talk about gas prices and how they are affecting people. So I went back and I watched Mr. Farron Cousins' video about the gas prices. And of course, does he blame Biden for that? No, of course not, because the Ring of Fire is in the same ballpark. They're in the same camp as the people that are supporting Biden. That other side, those progressives, those fake progressives, I like to call them, that support Biden. So no. The notion that the gas tax is a great thing and acting like relief for people is a bad thing? Uh, do you not understand that people actually need relief from these gas prices, Farron? Now, obviously, he said this a while ago, but I talk about this because gas prices are on everyone's mind and they're still on my mind. They're going back up again, at least in my area, they are. For the longest time, Massachusetts had the cheapest gas prices in New England for a blue state. Massachusetts and Rhode Island were the two that had some of the cheapest. They had an average of $2.70, $2.80 a gallon. I remember that. $20 could fill up my tank. I paid $20 to fill up my tank earlier when I was visiting my friends up in New Hampshire with Steven earlier. And you know how much $20 got me? It got me up to about 75%. It got me up to about 3/4 of a gallon. Yeah, remember that. So here's the thing about the gas tax, and I know I'm going like all over the place and everything, but remember when Biden said he wanted to have a gas tax holiday, right? Remember he pitched that idea? Remember how he just like threw it out there and how he thought it was a great idea and whatnot, and everybody was going at him about it? Well, here's the thing though. See, the double-edged sword is people need to seem to understand that gas taxes, in one sense or another one, they do help the big oil companies. So when you sit there and you act like it's a great thing, and when you sit there and you act like it's such a great thing, and how, oh, we need higher taxes on gas because that actually helps our infrastructure and whatnot. No, you're wrong, because it doesn't. In fact, higher gas prices hurts working class families. And these are the people that people like Farron Cousins seem to care about, or they claim to care about. People like him and people like David Pakman and other shit libs. They want to sit there and they want to talk about, oh, how they care so much about working class families and whatnot, and how they care about the average person. Okay, that's wrong. No, higher gas taxes leads to price gouging at the pump, just like what Joe Biden was doing by blocking fuel and blocking pipelines. And that's what led to the gas prices increasing dramatically over the last few years. And then, of course, with Russia and Ukraine, the fucking NATO proxy war, it made it even worse. The NATO fucking proxy war made it even goddamn worse. And Biden sanctioning them and all these fucking NATO countries, these bullshit NATO countries, and NATO being a bullshit organization, fucked it up even more. But gas prices were not because of the Russia-Ukraine war. That's the other thing. And here's the other thing. Biden's idea to suspend the gas tax and say we need to do that is like, no, that's also wrong too. So why am I criticizing someone like Farron Cousins for saying, yeah, we need the gas tax, blah, 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 blah. We need it to pay for infrastructure in the U.S. and blah, 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 Okay, fucking wrong. And then when Biden says he wants to suspend the gas tax altogether, no, that's wrong too. Here's the thing. Okay, obviously, I think it's clear at this point that the U.S. is a dying and decaying society. I think it's pretty. I think it's. I think it's. I think it's pretty obvious. I think it's pretty obvious that we are a dying and decaying society. You know, we pay for gas taxes to drive on roads like this. We are dealing with higher gas prices. We also have a president in office that can barely stand up. I rest my case. But and then there's also many other examples. There are also many other examples. Of course, mass shootings and licensing to be able to carry around a fucking military style weapon in a public place, which I think should be illegal outright. Now, like I said, I'm all for the Second Amendment. I'm pro gun, but I'm pro common sense gun laws. No, the lack of common sense gun laws and people killing each other with military style weapons is an example of a dying and decaying society. Seeing gas prices being going through the fucking roof and driving on roads like this and the housing crunch and people unable to afford basic needs. Literally, the average hospital bill would probably destroy your fucking life savings for the average person. Steven and I are considered, we're like lower middle class. God forbid if something happened to us, I couldn't even imagine something like that. So yeah, this is an example of a dying and decaying society. This is what happens when you live in a capitalist oligarchy. This is an example. This is what capitalism does. So no, we can obviously agree that capitalism is shit. We can obviously agree with that. And this is another example of a dying and decaying society. We got a president that is also dying and decaying. He can barely fucking stand up. And then his mind goes, psh. So that's just another example. So all of the examples aside, so what am I talking about here? What am I rambling about up here? What am I rambling about here? It's like, well, what exactly am I rambling about up in here? Well, I'm rambling about the fact that gas prices, blah 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 blah, and how the U.S. is dying and decaying, and Biden is literally signing our death warrant as a nation. And I'm not saying that Trump did us any favors, because obviously not. Trump fucking sucked. The entire two-party system fucking sucks. I think it's pretty obvious. So let's get back to the thing about gas prices. Okay, so the thing is, increasing the gas tax hurts working class families. So I don't want to hear this notion from all these progressives. Do you know that Massachusetts stopped a gas tax increase in 2014? When Charlie Baker was elected, the first Republican governor in Massachusetts in modern history, who was the best governor in the history of this state, as far as I'm concerned. So what did that do? That saved Massachusetts billions of dollars. That gave us one of the cheapest gas prices in New England. Well, then, of course, until the president who decided to block fuel and can barely stand on his own two fucking hind legs. Yeah, so before that guy came in here, yeah, we had cheaper ones. So that saved us billions of dollars. And obviously we have much work to do. And roads in a lot of places in Massachusetts have been improving a lot, including in my area. There's areas that definitely need work, just like everywhere in this country. The roads need work. Even in some of the best places, I've seen roads that have been shit. In Indiana, in New Hampshire, I've seen shit roads in my area. I've seen shit roads in a bunch of different other places. I can't even tell you all the lists. Even in Rhode Island, I've been to Rhode Island a couple times. Yeah, so that saved Massachusetts residents billions of dollars, and it gave us relief for a great number of years, and they remained low until, of course, until Biden came in and fucked everything up. But here's the double-edged sword about that. You can't just suspend the gas tax outright altogether. Because, okay, to Farron's credit, I will give him this. He did make one good point about you can't suspend the gas taxes. Now, again, I am no fan of Farron Cousins' content or his a lot of his ideologies. I don't think I know I'm definitely not a fan of him, but on this one issue, I have to give him one particular piece of credit where it's due.
Only thing he is able to do, which isn't true, and I'll get more to that in a minute, but
well, I proceed to ramble on and on.
If you're buying 20 gallons of gas per week, you would, on average, save $3.60 every time you fill up your tank each week. So you get an extra $3.60 in your pocket every week. Those numbers, of course, Jordan Chariton from Status Quo crunched those numbers.
Yeah, and Jordan Chariton from Status Quo News is a fucking neoliberal asshole who suffers from Jimmy Dore derangement syndrome. So no, I'm not going to take anything he says seriously.
Stupid idea. He has to do something, right? I mean,
well, he has to do something, except he doesn't, and he never does.
Gas prices are on everybody's minds right now. It is.
They were 11 months ago, and they still are today.
It's a big political issue. We've got contentious midterms coming up. He has to do something. And he sees this as basically the only thing he is able to do.
Well, what he could have done was he could have told the gas companies to stop jacking up the prices. Now, he could do that while also keeping a gas tax that will help pay for, fixing our roads and fixing our bridges. I get that. We do need a gas tax in one sense or another one. Obviously, we do. We obviously need a gas tax in one sense or another one. Clearly. I'm not saying we should just get rid of the gas tax. No, I'm not saying that. Of course, we do need it. I'm just saying do not raise it anymore. And especially don't raise it with inflation. That was the thing that Massachusetts voters, including myself, stopped. Because, oh my God, that would have literally turned this state, that would have turned this state into having the most expensive gas prices in all of New England. It would have been horrible. Well, that's why we got rid of Deval Patrick, who was a horrific man and a horrific governor.
Better. Because here's the thing. Assume for a second that everybody in this country buys 20 gallons of gas.
And of course, he thinks he has the answer, and he's talking like Whoopi Goldberg. But like, remember Whoopi Goldberg talking about... remember that fucking thing I wrote about, remember that? Okay, so basically, he goes on and he says that, yeah, we need this money and blah, blah, fucking blah. I can't even find the part, but I don't know. This dude just fucking bores me.
Now, everybody thinks it's a very stupid idea for different reasons.
Well, obviously, it's a stupid reason, and obviously, I'm going to agree with it for the reasons like you. The reasons why neocon Republicans don't believe in it is because they don't believe in taxes for anyone. I mean, these are the same motherfuckers that don't even believe in taxing the rich. In fact, they believe in tax cuts for the rich. Like, they believe that these fucking millionaires and near goddamn motherfucking trillionaires should pay little to no taxes, and that's obscene. So yeah, that's the only reason why they are against it. That's the only reason why they're against it. They're against it for their own reason, because they think nobody should have to pay fucking taxes, which is retarded. But I, as a leftist, and obviously I am to the left of Farron Cousins, obviously, as someone who is to the left of Farron Cousins, yeah, we probably agree for the same reason why we were against Joe Biden suspending the gas tax for however long. And it's not even permanent. It wasn't even a permanent thing. It was temporary. What the fuck would temporary have to do with anything? But then again, the thing is, you cannot suspend, okay, like I said, the gas tax itself does not result in higher gas prices. That was the thing that Biden got wrong. But then again, raising them further and further and further would inevitably lead to higher gas prices down the line. That's why I am so fucking glad that this state stopped that in 2014. But here's the thing. You need a gas tax to pay for the roads and our bridges and infrastructure, which obviously this country needs. Have you seen the state of some of our roads lately? Have you seen some of the state of our roads lately? Have you taken a look at them? Oh my God. Infrastructure rating of the US. For the first time in 20 years, our infrastructure is out of the D range. Yeah, but it's only gone up a little bit. It's only like a C. The richest country in the world has only a mediocre infrastructure. You would think the richest country in the world would have the best infrastructure in the world, right? Or at least would be in the top 10. Nope. Totally not. See what I mean? That's a joke. So no, obviously we do need a gas tax to pay for the roads and for the bridges. But also what we need is a wealth tax that would also go to our roads, bridges, and schools and stuff like that. And obviously go to fund healthcare and fund universal healthcare and universal education and paid vacation time by law. That type of thing. A socialist utopia. Something that I support as a socialist. But no, Farron Cousins doesn't seem to mention any of those things. And again, that's the reason why I am not exactly a big fan of him. And for reasons like that. Now, I don't know Farron Cousins personally. I don't know. I've seen him in interviews, and you know what? He could be a very nice man. I don't know. He might be. He could be. He could be a very nice man, but here's the thing. His channel is just not for me. It's as simple as that. And on other issues, he's kind of a dumbass, but that's besides the point. So when it comes to this type of thing, you do need a gas tax. You do need taxation. Like, I get it. Paying for taxes is annoying. I get it. Filing tax returns, doing your tax returns. I get it. I get it. I get it. It's a pain in the ass. But you know what? Taxation is what keeps society going. I mean, it is what it is. So the notion that, we're just gonna, getting rid of it altogether is gonna solve all of our problems. No, it's not. Number one, it doesn't help anything, and it wouldn't help anything. And number two, it would actually just deprive our already structurally deficient bridges from money that we actually need. We actually need that money. We need as much money as we can to go towards infrastructure. But you can actually fund it without jacking people's pockets at gas stations. You can do that. There is a way to do that. Just because, God forbid, we have lower gas prices or we have lower gas taxes, that doesn't mean that we're not going to pay for the roads and the bridges. No. We should fund them as much as possible, but also helping working class families, because you know what? If people cannot afford gas and can't go to work and stuff, do you think that helps people? No. Do you think that's going to be good for the economy? No, that's going to be bad for the economy, because how are people going to go to work? You know what I'm saying? It's like, how the fuck are people going to be able to go to work? So no, higher gas prices and higher gas taxes actually harm the working class. So it's like, okay, Farron, or all these others that act like, Biden's idea is stupid and whatnot. Okay, you could say it for the same reason as me. But where is your sympathy for people that are struggling with higher gas prices? Where's your sympathy? I don't see it. You're just bitching and moaning. And this is something that the big oil companies welcome. Raising the gas taxes higher and higher and higher only benefits the top 1%. It only benefits the big oil companies. We can fund our roads and our bridges with a simple gas tax. Just keep it the way it is. Just keep it the way it is. And then obviously let's get that wealth tax up in there. And let's fund our roads and bridges and our healthcare and our education with the wealth tax. That's what Massachusetts voted on. That's what I voted on. And I say, hell yeah, let's get the job done. That's what I support. And we can actually fund our roads and bridges with gas taxes without jacking up the prices. We were able to do it before when gas in Massachusetts was an average of 270 and 280 a gallon. We all know it was that way before then, you know, before this fucking guy showed up. Yeah, they were until this fucking guy showed up. So there's a way to do it. There's a way to do it, and there's a way not to do it. We can fund our roads and our bridges with the gas tax. We can fund them in a way that is smart and sufficient without price gouging people. That's the way we need to do it. This is one of the reasons why I can't stand these fucking fake progressives. And yeah, I'm sorry, but Farron Cousins is a fake progressive. He's one of them. He's one of them, just like the rest of them are. They're all fake progressives. That's what they are. They talk out of both sides of their mouth, and they have no grounds in reality. They don't talk about the real issues. That's the problem I have with people like this. Talk about the issues. That we can fund our roads and bridges, which obviously we need to do, but we can do it with gas taxes and the money we have now, and we can criticize Biden for attempting to do little that doesn't solve anything, but also acknowledge the fact that, yeah, we got to do something. And we can do it by drilling for more oil. We can do it by cutting taxes for low-income families and putting money back into people's pockets. That's what Maura Healey is doing currently, or at least she's trying to do here in Massachusetts. That's what she's trying to do. We can do that, and we can start and stop blocking fuel. And we need to accept the fact that, maybe we do need Russian gas and energy. Fuck what Biden's boss, Zelensky, aka Adolf Zelensky, who literally looks like a fucking retarded Arby's manager. This dude went from a comedian to the gym teacher president. Looks like a literal fucking gym teacher ready to teach kids in the gym class. It's a fucking goddamn joke. See these pictures right here? This is when gas in Massachusetts was at an average 279. See? This is from 2018. You see that? You see that? Yeah, I remember those days. I got my first car in 2016. $20 would fill up my tank. No problem. So, to acknowledge this, we need to fund our roads and bridges and fix our roads and fix our bridges. We need all the money in the world that we need to fix that. Yes, we do. We need to do that with the money we have. Make sure that those tax dollars are going to infrastructure projects and are not going to the big oil companies. We need to make sure that those tax dollars are actually going into the roads and the bridges. But at the same time, we cannot increase that anymore, especially at this time. Or we just shouldn't increase them at all. We have it. We have it. Let's just use the tax money that we have. Just use the tax money that we have to pay for our roads and our bridges. So that way we can do that. We can fund our roads and our bridges and our schools and our infrastructure in general, our buildings and everything else. Infrastructure is just more than just roads and bridges. It's buildings, it's telephone poles, it's dams, it's rivers, and all that other good stuff. We can put money into that in a way that makes sense to where we're actually funding them, so we can drive on halfway decent roads, and we can also afford to fill up our cars. We can also do it in a way that doesn't harm the middle class or the lower middle class. So for a so-called progressive, you would think that someone like that would be talking about that, but obviously they're not, because people like that talk out of both sides of their mouth. And if anything, they're doing the bidding work for the big oil companies. They may not be intending on doing that, but in a way they are. We can fund them, but we have to do it in a way that's smart, without price gouging people. because price gouging is one of the biggest problems with a capitalist society. That's why capitalism is garbage. Capitalism is leading us to hell. It's leading us to hell in a handbasket, and raising the gas taxes on the middle class is just an example of that. So yes, let's do that, and let's fund our schools, fund our bridges, fund our roads. We can do it with the gas tax dollars that we have without price gouging people in a way that hurts the middle class, which the so-called progressives claim to care about, but then in all due reality, they really don't. We can do it in a way that's smart and makes sense without price gouging people. So why don't we do that in a way so we can get it done? We did it before, and we can surely do it now. But it's going to take leadership, something that we don't have, and we desperately need it. So let's do that in a way that makes sense, because the way leadership is in the U.S. and in the West, it certainly doesn't make sense. Well, that's about it for now. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this segment. Hope you all learned something from it. So this is about the gas tax slash capitalism is a dying, decaying system, blah, you know, all that stuff. You know, I know when I do these global reports, I'm like all over the place. Like I'm all over the field, you know? So that's just me. But again, like I said, Farron and I might have this one thing in common when it comes to that. But then again, I can acknowledge something here. He might be a nice person. He might be one of the nicest guys around, but his content is just not for me. It's as simple as that. That's all. That's all. Just, you know, just go do your thing. You do you, and I'll do me. That's how it goes. That's how it goes up in here. And of course, the Z Nation, the Z Podcast is always up in here, and we are not going anywhere. So anyway, thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for my stream tomorrow at 7 p.m. Look out for it. More stuff on the way. This is Zach, the Celtics guy, saying thank you for watching. And this is my idea about how we can fund our roads, our schools, and our bridges, and our infrastructure in other areas without price gouging people. Let's harp on it, and let's harp on it and talk about it, and that's our plan. That's a plan. That's my plan. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. And that's what I think should be done. But that's just me. Maybe your idea is different. Different strokes for different folks. Anyway, see y'all in the next one, everybody. Take care of yourselves. Be safe. Be well. Stay safe. Stay classy. And as always, keep fighting and keep on rocking. Till next time, peace out, good night, and so long.